Close your eyes and imagine your ideal retirement. How much do you think it would take per year in order to live the life that you want to live during your retirement? If you're like most people, you probably came up with a number right around $100,000 per year. So in today's video, what we're going to talk about is how large your portfolio would need to be in order to generate $100,000 of income per year. Hi, if we haven't met yet, I'm Trevor Johnson, founder of Dreamweaver Financial Planning, and I help hardworking savers determine how much they need to save in order to live their ideal retirement without the fear of running out of money. I'm going to go over 3 different scenarios, and what you'll notice is the portfolio value is significantly different for each situation. In the first scenario, I'm going to assume that the couple has no other guaranteed sources of income. So they have no Social Security, they have no pensions, they have no rental income, they have no annuities, they have no other sources of income. So their portfolio is going to have to support 100% of their retirement expenses. In order to calculate the portfolio value needed in this example to generate $100,000 of income per year, I'm going to use 4% as the withdrawal rate. 4% is a very conservative withdrawal rate that would have gotten you through any point in history without running out of money in a 30-year retirement. So even if you lived through the Great Depression and you were retired during that time, you could have taken out 4% of your portfolio and rested assured that it would have lasted for at least 30 years. So in this example, if we take $100,000 and divide it by 4%, we come up with $2.5 million. So if you already have the $2.5 million, great job. However, I know that $2.5 million sounds like a lot to many. So in the next scenario, you're going to see why in the vast majority of cases, you don't need anything even close to $2.5 million. So in the second scenario, we're going to assume that there's a couple who is going to be receiving average Social Security checks throughout their retirement. So they're going to each be receiving a Social Security check for about $2,000 per month. So for easy math, we'll round the $48,000 up to $50,000 per year. So in this case, the couple is only going to need to draw $50,000 of income from their portfolio each year in order to reach the total of $100,000 of income per year in their retirement. So if we just take the $2.5 million from the first example and cut it in half, this couple would need $1.25 million in order to reach their goal of $100,000 of inflation-adjusted income throughout their retirement. In the third and final scenario that we're going to go over, we're going to assume that the couple has average Social Security, so they're going to have $50,000 of combined Social Security. They're going to have a $15,000 pension, and they're also going to have a $10,000 annuity. So if you add all that up, they already have $75,000 of guaranteed income throughout their retirement. So they only have a $25,000 gap to fill. So in this case, if we apply the 4% rule, they would only need a portfolio worth $625,000 in order to total up to the $100,000 of inflation-protected retirement income. So an important takeaway from this video is that everybody's situation is unique. In scenario number 1, they had no other guaranteed sources of income, so their portfolio needed to be very large because 100% of their retirement is funded by their portfolio. So they would need $2.5 million in order to retire with $100,000 of inflation-adjusted income. However, in the third scenario, you noticed that that couple had Social Security, they had a pension, and they also had an annuity. So they had multiple sources of guaranteed income. So the gap that they had to fill from that would be supported by their portfolio, it was much smaller. They only needed to fill a gap of $25,000 per year. So instead of $2.5 million, their portfolio would only need to be about $625,000. I think $625,000 is a very realistic goal for many savers. But there's many things that you can do to help position yourself to make sure that your $625K portfolio is protected. And that's why I made this video that you should check out that is about 8 things that you should do before you retire to help ensure that you don't run out of money during your retirement. Thanks for watching.